there is more what can be done over here. And if you look to these both pictures here, there is a seat belt. So now we will ask the question, what is a seat belt? Why is a seat belt important for Lapland? It is a safety component which everybody should maintain if he drives a car. And what's happening is, if you now interface between an active seat belt and a normal seat belt, and you have an active seat belt, and you can take the information you have from stability control, you can control the seat belt so that the driver is positioning stable and by far better in his seat. And if you look to both pictures, on the left without, on the right with, you see that the right person shakes by far less than the left person. So, and if you just do it again, and now you see, if you would be in the left vehicle and you would have such a situation, you would be heavily injured because your neck would shake around significantly, and this already caused many injuries in the past. Now, if you would be hit to an accident, if you would have an active retractor, it would be by far better. So why I'm mentioning that? If you're talking about the Lapland Forum, it's not only ABS what is important over here. There are other functionalities which can be as well tested and evaluated over here. And I think that is something which you need to understand. The effect of the technology which we are doing, because none of us is paid by the company just to do engineering development. The goal is to sell it, certainly, but to buy it is something you need to believe in it and you need to see an advantage. And I want to give one example, saying with the development of safety architectures, we saved a lot of people's life. We cannot reduce the number of people who are driving cars. No, we really want to increase them. We would like to allow everybody to drive a car. But if everybody drives a car, the probability that you get an accident increase. For example, in the year of 2000, 1.5 million accidents occurred in Europe. In these days, it's more than 2 million accidents occurs in Europe. At that time, we had 50,000 fatalities. That means people who were killed in an accident, and more than 2 million people who were injured. That means who were somehow badly injured. So this is a statistic which is not a TRW statistic, it is a government-provided statistic. That means more than 50,000 people died on European roads before 2000. With the introduction of stability control and all the safety architectures like active seatbelt and other activities, the reduction of killed people, of injured people, and the fatalities came down significantly. And if you see the final number from last year, 35,000 compared to 54,000, that means 20,000 people by an increased accident percentage have saved their life. There is a commission, a European Commission, who wants to reduce this number further, and by 2020 the plan is that even the numbers which we have today should be halved. Now let me summarize what happened with the development of the safety technologies, for example ABS and stability control as an example. So a significant reduction of accidents and fatalities has been achieved. So it was a standard now for safety and for architectures in Europe and the North American market. But more important is that not only Europe, let's say where we have the premium OEMs, can afford safety components. Now also markets like China, India, Brazil and others are picking up these safety technologies because we want to save people's life everywhere in the world. So it means we set a global standard and a global industry for safety architectures, and that certainly is giving a lot of people a job. So the pioneers and the leaders who worked in these industries made this all possible, and certainly pioneers like Mr. Struck from Mercedes and others were at that time there. It was a car manufacturers industry. They came up as a pioneer, said, I want to have this technology, but certainly the braking and the safety suppliers, whether it's TRW, it's Bosch or Continental, Tevis at that time, were the key contributors to such a technology. The Swedish test tracks, they were also innovative because they supported it, and the hotels, they made, let's say, beds available for every engineer who came up, and certainly some of you have maybe spent with 2 or 3 people in one room 20, 30 years ago, because the hotels were not that distributed. The Swedish infrastructure, and primarily here it's certainly Arvidsjaur Airport to be named. Without that, it was not possible to bring up all these technologies. Airlines, and here Flycard to mention, made it possible because they had dedicated flight schedules to enable the engineers coming up. So I would say all of you have contributed to the success of the industry. You have contributed to the safety development. You have contributed to the employment of people. And for that, all of you can be proud of what happened, and proud having or being part of the global team who enabled all these architectures to save finally humans' life. Certainly the 3 competitors which are in the world are still in Europe, but now we see more and more competitors coming from Asia along. Means we have to see that. The electrical vehicles will come, and it's not Europe who's leading right now the electrical vehicle architecture, it's more Asia who's doing it. That means we have to prepare about that. But there's a threat, certainly, and we have to understand it, we have to acknowledge it. There's a threat, there's also an opportunity. Opportunity for this region, we would say, one fact is that the European Car Makers Program, which is the Commission, and the Commission of the European government is saying that they would like to do a reduction of a further 50% of the insured people in the next 10 years. I mean, from now to there. And there's a lot of technology which is still today missing, which we don't have. Key technologies are required. For example, safety integration, driver assist systems, ACC. Then we have video cameras. This will become more and more important in order to avoid accidents. What the other opportunity you have here is a well-established know-how. Your testing know-how in the region is excellent. The infrastructure is perfect. And you are geographically absolutely great positioned. And this is not only the climate, because it's quite cold here and you have snow, the mu value, you remember, is quite low. No, it's also the car makers are here. You have here the German, the European, the global car maker industry who comes more and more over here because they see that here's a competition, here's the know-how, and the supply base. And I'm seeing here people from Bosch, from Conti, from TRW. That makes it all interesting being here. On the other hand, the opportunity is not only a threat, it is an opportunity. If you are cost effective, if you have a cost efficiency in providing test capabilities, the people will go here. They will not go to a place which is more expensive. They will go to the most cost effective way. And the other opportunity which we see in this region is look in the future. Positioning for electrical cars. Positioning for the new architectures will come along with electrical vehicles. That means you need to have charging capabilities at the test tracks, maybe in the cities as well. And then finally, and everybody appreciates significantly not only working here, also doing some laser trips over here. And we see more and more tourists coming along, which is a good thing. It's a perfect thing for everybody, for the airline, for the hotels, for the airport, but it has to be test-friendly. Test-friendly tourism, that's what I would explain it, because you need tourists to fill the gap, but if it is test-friendly, then both of them can do it. It is a team approach. So, and all of that, I think it's a platform for this Lapland Automotive Forum, because if you combine all these opportunities here, and there are certainly 100 other opportunities which I haven't named, is an ideal platform to strengthen the regional capabilities. To understand what needs to be done is a joint effort and not a single one. And if one has an idea, it's a great thing. But if you don't work together, as Michael said, then it won't work. If you do it together, and the Lapland Forum is a great platform, and I'm really happy that this is also the opening day of the Lapland Forum. And that's the end of the presentation. And what I want to say is a very special thank to the contributors of the anniversary of the airport, which is Ralf Lundberg, and he is the guy who is the man responsible for the airport here. Yes. This is the 20 years of anniversary of the airport of Arvidsjaur. And Ralf, thank you very much for your contribution. We are back again. And the other two guys who, let's say, invented at least the flycar airline, certainly it is a team effort because people motivated this guy to say it. And I think Michael and Rainer, thank you very much. Kommst du mal vorne? Is Rainer Dreher here?
That is no Gespräch.
There's no Gespräch. Okay, and also, Michael, on behalf of TRW, on behalf of the industry, also for you, a famous stability control unit, 10 years of anniversary of flycar. So, we don't have a gift for the others because the test track providers were also key contributors, and there are so many people around where we can say thank you for what happened. And the local government, and I think it is important that you have a government who understands the industry, to understand the threats, to understand the opportunities, to moderate between the industry and the people who are living here. And I can believe that for the local mayor, for the local government, for the local community, it's not easy to accept all the time that car testing is being done here, because some of the people who are living here have advantages, and others, they just have the noise and the test cars going around, isn't it? For that, many thanks for your contribution, your support, making it all happen. So, and this is the summary slides. Again, on behalf of the entire automotive industry and for the behalf of TRW, really congratulations for your anniversary. Congratulations to open the Lapland forum over here. I think it's a great opportunity here. And now I think have a real safe and a nice celebration. Thank you very much.